Hello, I'm Bruce Lorincz, and this show is entitled Bruce on the Loose, and we go ahead and read books for our young readers in Wadsworth and beyond, and maybe even Colorado and Guam. We've made contact recently. My great niece and nephew in Colorado, Carolina and Benny, they may be able to view this show as well. Hey, I got a flu shot yesterday, and boy, you know, sometimes those needles get me a little nervous, but it's really important if you're even 6 months old to the ripe old age that I'm at to get those flu shots. And I just think about other things. And today, two very important things I think about that really allow me to go ahead and get that shot without any problem is giraffes and elephants. And today we're going to go ahead and begin with our first book on giraffes, and they are really very, very interesting animals indeed. And I'm going to take my mask off here so I can go ahead and read a little better so it doesn't fog up as much, and I social distance and stay away from crowds. Living in Africa. Africa is hot. Giraffes like living on the hot, grassy savanna. And that world map on the other page shows in yellow, it shows where Africa is. And it is a huge, huge continent. Giraffes run through grasses on the flat land. They stay cool under tall savanna trees. And in the red is where giraffes live in the country of Africa. Up close, a giraffe's spots are like fingerprints. No two giraffes have the same pattern of spots. So I thought that was really interesting. They all are very, very different, like we are, very, very different in how we present ourselves. Look at that long tongue. A giraffe's blue tongue is as long as your arm. Oh my, that is long. Boy, I bet that helps them to go ahead and eat. Eating and drinking. Giraffes stretch up high to eat leaves on the tallest trees. And there's one going ahead and getting that tongue, helping him to go ahead and eat on that tall tree. Giraffes bend down low for a drink of water. Giraffes can go days between drinks. Maybe that's like his cousin, the camel. They suppose they can go a while without drinking also. Staying safe. Is that a hungry lion? Lions hunt giraffes. Giraffes use their long legs to outrun danger. Female giraffes keep the calves safe in a herd. Mother giraffes will kick enemies to scare them away. And that little giraffe still is probably really tall compared to some other animals we know. Giraffes often sleep standing on their big round hooves. They keep one eye open to look for danger. Good night, giraffes. And that was a real good story. And some of the glossary words we picked up was calf as a young giraffe, and danger, something that is not safe, fingerprint, the mark made by the tip of the finger. No two people have the same fingerprints. And hoof, the hard covering over the foot of a giraffe. More than one hoof is hooves. And pattern, a repeating order of colors and shapes. And savanna, a flat, grassy plain with few trees. So those are some of the words we picked up with giraffes, and certainly the Cleveland Zoo has giraffes. I don't believe the Akron Zoo does have them, but boy, they have a lot of very interesting animals at the Akron Zoo, and maybe coming up you can plan a trip there. It would be really good. And I think they have a big event. Chris Norman, who was on our show a few months ago, said they have a program called Boo at the Zoo. And I don't know if they're having that. You might check their website. The next book, The Seasons of the Year. You know, we're real fortunate to be in Ohio, where we do have seasons that we certainly can see the difference. And I think with the wind and getting cool at night, I think we're certainly starting to get autumn or fall as we speak. So let's take a look at the seasons. Through the year, we observe changes in nature. Plants and animals change. We change our activities too. This is many animal babies are born in the spring, and summer is a good time to eat ice cream. Boy, that is for sure. I love all sorts of flavors of ice cream. These changes happen every year. To help us describe these changes, we divide the year into 4 seasons. We call them spring, summer, fall, and winter. Winter sometimes brings snow. The earth and the sun. A year is the amount of time it takes our spinning planet Earth to go around the sun. During half of the journey, the North Pole tilts toward the sun. During the other half, the North Pole tilts away from the sun. It takes a whole year for the Earth to travel full circle around the sun. Well, that's really good to know. When the North Pole tilts toward the sun, we receive more of the sun's energy in North America. The weather gets warmer as we have summer. When it gets really hot, we wear cooler clothes. Weather changes. When the North Pole tilts away from the sun, we receive less of the sun's energy. The weather gets colder and we have winter. The weather map shows cold air covering most of the United States. Snow plows clear snow from the roads to make it a little easier for people to get around. We notice other things change beside the temperature. For example, winter days are shorter than summer days. It may be dark when you catch the morning school bus. Winter mornings stay dark longer than summer mornings. And I know on that bus we're social distancing as well and wearing our masks to make sure we are safe, because the virus is real and it is something we need to always keep our guard up for. In the spring, we see the grass get greener and grow. Flowers bloom and birds lay eggs. We plant seeds and play baseball. Summer. In the summer, lightning and thunderstorms bring rain. Farm crops grow and families enjoy long summer days. Lots of families enjoy going to the beach in the summer. The summer weather helps crops grow. And boy, we grow a lot of crops here in Ohio. We grow corn and wheat and barley and soybeans and hay for our cows. So Ohio has a lot of acres that we go ahead and have farming on. Fall. In the fall, farmers harvest many of their crops. Children go back to school. Animals get ready for winter. Boy, those look like turtles over there on the left. And the farmer, looks like the farmer harvests apples. And I sure love apples. They're really good to eat. 3 box turtles have found a place to hibernate. And we'll talk about that word maybe at the end, hibernate. In the fall, some birds migrate to warmer places, and squirrels bury acorns. Winter. In the winter, the temperature drops in the north. Snow may fall. Animals grow longer fur. They may grow white fur to camouflage themselves in the snow. People may catch colds. That's why it's really important to get that flu shot like Mr. Bruce got yesterday, and it's really important. Mrs. Lorincz got that flu shot with me also. The rabbit's white fur is the perfect camouflage in snow. The seasons and us. Sometimes we use the seasons to describe our lives. My birthday is in the spring. It's fall, time to harvest our pumpkins. My grandmother is going to Florida for the winter. Spring, summer, fall, and winter go by every year. The passing of the seasons is just another one of nature's cycles. That means it keeps happening time after time, year after year. Boy, and in that glossary, there's some of the words that we went ahead and read about. Camouflage, it makes something harder to see in surroundings. Crops, plants grown for food. Cycle, it's a series of repeating events. Energy is heat and light. Harvest, gather fruit, vegetables, or grain. Hibernate, to spend the winter in a sleep-like state. And in the book, there was the turtles were hibernating, but I always think of bears. And of course, my tie has Winnie the Pooh, and old Winnie, he has to stock up on his honey, and that's why he loves to get honey in the fall, because he's going to hibernate and take a nap and get ready for the spring as well. Migrate, move from one place to another with a change of season. North Pole, the northern end of the Earth's axis. I think there's a reindeer and elves, and a jolly old elf lives there too, if I'm not mistaken, in the North Pole. Observe, you notice, you see, and tilts. That means it leans. They're talking about the earth. It tilts, it leans one way or the other for the various seasons. So I really enjoyed that book on the seasons, and we certainly are in the fall, and right around the corner is going to be the winter. In my last book, and again, one topic and one item I think about when I'm getting those shots with the needles is elephants. And boy, they are majestic, and they are really very, very unique indeed. Living in Africa. The biggest land animals live in Africa. Elephants roam the grassy savanna. And again, there's that world map in Africa. We learned before with the giraffes are inhabitants. They live in Africa. And boy, it looks like just like the giraffes, they're protecting that little calf that's in the middle. And boy, it's not very big. And boy, I would hate to try to go ahead and get close with the mother and father right there, and maybe a brother also there to help protect the baby. The savanna is hot. Elephants shower themselves with cool water. And again, African map, where elephants live. A lot of the same places
that giraffes live, but there are a couple places on the East Coast where they're found as well. So a lot of places in Africa have elephants. Up close, wrinkly elephant skin can get a sunburn. Elephants roll in mud. The mud works like sunscreen. And boy, they sure like to do that. I think I remember some pigs on the farm. They used to like to roll around in the creek too, and they like to go ahead and get really watery as well. It works like sunscreen. That's kind of interesting. An elephant's trunk is more than a nose. Elephants play and give hugs with their trunks, like we do with our hands and do exotic shakes, but we're probably not doing too much of that because of the coronavirus today. We want to stay our six feet away from other people. Elephants grow two jumbo teeth called tusks. Elephants use their tusks to break branches. Boy, there's a lot of branches there on the ground, and I'm not sure, it looks like some zebras in the background there. Yeah, some zebras, or maybe there was an antelope there too. Boy, those tusks are really big. I can't hardly believe it. Eating and drinking. Elephants eat all day. Their trunks grab branches, leaves, and grass. Kind of like some teenagers I know. They eat all the time. The refrigerator is always open. And boy, the elephants, they sure do need, since they're so big, they need to eat. Some months are dry on the savannah. Elephants must walk far to find food and water. Boy, there's quite a few elephants there. They stay together in packs, and they all get along quite well. Mothers teach calves to use their trunks. Calves learn to blow water into their mouths. Boy, looks like there's two little ones there too. One really little, another just a little bit bigger. Staying safe. Calves stay near their mothers. The herd keeps them safe at night. Good night, elephants. In this glossary, some words we went ahead and found during our reading. Calf is a young elephant. Herd, a group of elephants. An elephant herd is made up of related female elephants, and their young male elephants live on their own. Roam, to wander, to move around. Savanna is a flat, grassy plain with few trees. A sunburn is sore skin caused by staying in the sun too long. Sunscreen is lotion that prevents sunburn. In this case, it's the water and the mud that the elephants were rolling in, if you remember. Trunk and elephant's nose. Elephants use their trunk like a hand. And tusk, the long, curved, pointed tooth. So I sure hope you enjoyed the book on elephants. Again, one of my favorite animals, and I'll have to talk to Mrs. Lorincz. We haven't been to the Cleveland Zoo. We'll have to check again to wear our mask and stay away from people in big crowds. But boy, those animals there, and you know they have an area there where they have very interesting animals. They have giant anteaters and some other animals in the area there, kind of a separate area to the zoo. And it's really, really important to go and still get out a little bit, but under good conditions where we keep safe and not be in crowds and be close to a lot of various people. So thanks for viewing Bruce on the Loose, and next week we'll have some very interesting books for you as well. Thanks for viewing.